Determiners. Consider these sentences. She saw a peacock on the jackfruit tree. Your wish is my command. This sofa is more comfortable than those chairs. Whose watch is this? Neither candidate was selected for the job. Few people turned up for the rally. All the colored words in these sentences are determiners which indicate the nouns about whom something is being said. Definition. A determiner is a word that is used to modify or introduce the noun in a sentence. Quick tip. A determiner need not always be in the beginning of a sentence. It can be used with nouns placed anywhere in the sentence. Types of determiners. There are different types of determiners. 1. Determiners, a, and, the, articles. 2. Possessive determiners. 3. Demonstrative determiners. 4. Quantitative determiners. 5. Interrogative determiners. 6. Distributive determiners. Quick tip. Indefinite and definite articles are now considered as indefinite and definite determiners. Determiners, a, and, the, articles. A, and the are called articles. A and an are called indefinite articles while these called definite article. Indefinite determiners. A and an are called the indefinite determiners because they do not point out any particular person, animal or thing. These determiners are used when indefinite meaning is needed. For example, I met a boy in the school. Any boy not definite. My mother gave me a pear and an orange. Any pear, any orange. A is used before words having a consonant sound. For example, a poor man, a nice young lady, a huge drum. Keep in mind, some words begin with vowels, but they are pronounced with a consonant sound, so we use a before them as well. For example, a 1 rupee note, a university, a union leader. An is used before words having a vowel sound. For example, an umbrella, an ass, an elegant dress. An is used before words beginning with a silent H, as. For example, an honorable leader, an honest student, an hour. An is also used before the words starting with a consonant but having a vowel sound, as an STM, an FIR, an NCC cadet. Thus, we can conclude that indefinite determiners a and an are used. A, in the numerical sense of 1, as. Does Kim have a pet? I just had an apple and a pear. B, in the sense of certainty, as. I saw an ugly man near the park. A fast car passed by me. C, in a general sense to represent the whole class, as. A student should be obedient in the class. All students. A dog is loyal to its master. All dogs. D, before a proper noun to make it common noun, as. Here is a Sherlock Holmes, i.e. a person gifted like Sherlock Holmes. A Daniel comes to judgment, i.e. a person wise like Daniel. E, with only a little, a few, as. I have a few friends. I enjoy a little cream and pepper in my soup. A moonbeam takes only a little over 1 second to reach the earth. F, in specific phrases, as. A lot of, as a rule, a bad cold, a severe pain, as fresh as a rose, twice a month, a series of, etc. Definite determiner, the. The is used before a common noun that has been mentioned earlier. It is called a definite determiner because it shows some specific person or thing. For example, this is the novel that I read yesterday. The specific novel. The boy who helped me studies in any other school. The specific boy. This is the park where I used to play. The specific park. Call the girl waiting outside. The girl already talked about. A. These also used when a single noun represents a whole class. For example, the elderly require special attention. The French enjoy cheese. The poor, elderly, and the homeless face a lot of difficulty during the winter season. B. The is used before an adjective to make it a noun in the plural. For example, honor the brave and help the needy. The rich should help the poor. C. The is used before some adverbs as well. For example, the higher you climb, the cooler it gets. The more I hoard, the more I want. D. The is used before adjectives used in apposition of a proper noun qualified by the adjective. For example, the terrible Mr. Brown set my boat on fire. Ashoka, the Great, ruled over India. E. The is used before the names of religions, communities and holy books. For example, the Gita is a holy book of the Hindus. The Islamic calendar has fewer days than the Gregorian calendar. F. The is also used before the names of countries and provinces. For example, the USA is the richest country in the world. Panaji is the capital of Goa. G. The is also used before nouns which are the only one of their own kind. For example, the sun rose at 5:15 this morning. The Prime Minister will be speaking on TV tonight. H. The is used with the names of directions, geographical areas, rivers, mountain ranges, groups of islands, canals and oceans. For example, the ship was sailing towards the northeast. Hiking across the Rocky Mountains would be difficult. Quick tip: never use the before God. I. The is also used before the ordinal number and superlatives. For example, this is the third time I have called you today. She read the last chapter of her new book first. This is the tallest building in Dubai. J. The is also used with the decades. For example, he was born in the 80s. This is a mo, Y from the 1950s. K. The is also used with clauses introduced by only. You are the only person he will listen to. The only chocolate I like is Kit Kat. L. The is also used before the names of some public places. For example, they keep a lot of animals in the zoo. They should have held the meeting outside the town hall for publicity. M. The is used before the names of the seasons. For example, germination can be observed well in the rainy season. Keep in mind, use the with countries that have plural names. Do you know anyone who lives in the Netherlands? Use the with countries that include the words republic, kingdom or states in their names. They are visiting the United States. William is from the Republic of Congo. The is used with the names of famous buildings, works of art, museums, or movements. The Great Wall of China is a huge barrier that spans thousands of miles along China's historic northern border. The Scream by Edward Munch was installed for a special exhibition at the Tokyo Metropolitan Art Museum. A mission of determiner, where not to use the. Do not use the with names of countries, except for the mentioned above. For example, he has never visited to India. What is the old name of China? Do not use the before a proper noun. For example, Abdul was very kind. Keith called Nick for dinner. Do not use the before nouns in general sense. For example, humans are more intelligent than animals. Everyone loves life. Do not use the before abstract nouns used in general. For example, courage and truth are great virtues. Zahira is afraid to go out at midnight after a party. Do not use the before material nouns used in general sense. For example, some coins are made of silver. The price of oil has risen sharply. Do not use the before collective nouns used in general sense. For example, the impact of science on society is great. The industry is heavily dependent on government funding. Do not use the with professions. For example, he will study medicine. Engineering is a well-paid career. Do not use the with years. For example, 2020 was a dreadful year. I was born in 20. Do not use the with years. For example, 2020 was a dreadful year. I was born in 2013. Do not use the with uncountable nouns. For example, milk is added to tea in India. Wheat is an important food crop in Asia. Do not use the before the names of days and months. For example, I will see you on Monday. December is the last month of the year. Do not use the when countables come in pairs. For example, I watched my mother and father down in the currents. Possessive determiners. Read the given sentences. Emma and her friends are playing basketball. Have you all informed your parents about the school picnic? In the above sentences, her and your are the pronouns preceding the nouns. These are not used in place of nouns. Therefore, these are possessive determiners. Definition. A possessive determiner is a pronoun used to express possession or belongingness. It helps us know who or what owns the noun that it determines. My, your, our, his, her, their and its are the examples of possessive determiners. Keep in mind, possessive pronouns and possessive determiners should not be confused with each other. A possessive pronoun stands on its own, replacing a noun phrase. For example, Kim says that this bag is hers. Here, hers replaces Kim's bag, whereas a possessive determiner, instead, appears before a noun, modifying it. For example, this is her bag. Demonstrative determiners. Read the given sentences. That boy looks a lot like my brother. I have heard this story before. In the above sentences, that and this are demonstrative determiners which are introducing the nouns boy and story in the sentence. Definition. Demonstrative determiner is a type of determiner used to point to a specific noun or noun phrase and specify its number and distance. They help to identify the noun being referred to in a sentence. This, that, these, those are examples of demonstrative determiners. Keep in mind, do not get confused between demonstrative determiners and demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns replace nouns in a sentence, whereas demonstrative determiners introduce the nouns instead of replacing them. For example, look at the rain. Look at that. Demonstrative pronoun. Look at that rain. Demonstrative pronoun. I am having a trouble with equations. I am having a trouble with these. Demonstrative pronoun. I am having a trouble with these equations. Demonstrative pronoun. Quantitative determiners. Read the given sentences. Were there only a few people at work? We have little sugar left with us. In the above sentences, a few and little are quantitative determiners as they are letting us know the quantity of people and sugar respectively. In the first sentence, the noun is countable and in the second sentence, it is uncountable, but both are indicating the quantity of noun. Definition. The quantitative determiners are used to indicate the quantity of something. The words like some, most, many, much, little, few, etc. are examples of quantitative determiners. How to use quantitative determiners? Some and any. Use some in affirmative and any in negative and interrogative sentences. For example, do you have any food? There are some grapes in the fridge. Use many and few with countable nouns, and much and little with uncountable nouns. There are many/few books in the library. There is much/little milk in the bowl. Interrogative, exclamatory determiners. Read the given sentences. For example, whose purse is that? What a beautiful painting. In the first sentence, whose is used to ask a question about the noun purse, making it an interrogative determiner, and in the second sentence, what is used to exclaim the beauty of a painting, making it an exclamatory determiner. An exclamatory determiner is a word or phrase that modifies a noun to express strong emotion or surprise about the noun. Distributive determiners. Read the given sentences. For example, each student received a certificate. Neither answer is correct. In the above sentences, each and neither are used to refer to individual members of the group. Definition. An interrogative determiner is a word that modifies a noun by asking a question. The words which, what and whose can function as both interrogative determiners and exclamatory determiners, depending on how they are used in a sentence. Keep in mind, interrogative pronouns stand alone. They do not modify nouns, whereas interrogative determiners modify a noun. For example, which dress shall I wear? Interrogative determiner. Which should I use? Interrogative pronoun.